Hello students, welcome to the video lecture session on power generation and economics. As our discussion is going under grounding, last video lectures I have discussed regarding the grounding. I will show you this part already I have covered. Okay, ungrounded system I have covered. Okay. Ungrounded system, and also I have discussed about when fault is occurred, what are the problems are associated. Okay, today the discussion is neutral grounding. Okay, the process of connecting neutral point of three phase system to earth, that is soil, either directly or through some circuit elements. Okay, example resistance, reactance, etc. we are using. So such it is called the neutral grounding. Okay, I repeat here, such type of grounding is called neutral grounding. Okay, first let us have a discussion over the neutral grounding without any elements. Without any elements means we are not using here the resistance and reactance. Okay, other any elements you are not using, directly neutral point you are connecting to ground. Okay. So neutral grounding provides protections to personal and equipments. It is because during earth fault what will be happens, the current path is completed. Earlier in ungrounded system, what it is there, the complete path we couldn't got here. Why means there is a grounding has not done. Hence in neutral grounding what it will be happens, the grounding has done the complete path which it will be exist, right? So I will show you here how it will be exist the complete path. Okay, I repeat the sentence, the current path is completed through the earthed, neutral and protective devices. Okay, protective device means in between this path we are introducing protective devices such as fuse, circuit breakers. What it will be happens, it will be trips, or fuse it is there means it will be blows. Okay, so let us have a diagram here. You can see this is the grounded system. As I mentioned, without any element, if you are looking to this, this is the point neutral. I will take pen here. Okay, this is a neutral and it is connected to earth, right, without any element. What it will be happens when fault it will be occurred. See, for an example, here you can see the fault where it is occurred, line f, sorry, line r. Okay, ryb. Okay, line r, the fault is occurred. So what it will be happens, fault means the line which it will be comes to the touch to the ground. So here it is shown the complete path we will get here. How we will get, I will show you here. I will take pen here. You see it will be goes here and it will be comes to the, so in between here we can see there will be a fuse. What it will be happens, there will be earth fault means line and ground it will becomes, that is called earth fault. Large amount of current it will be flows, very high current. Okay, hence impedance will be low. I repeat here, impedance will be low. So what it will be happens, the current it will be flows in this direction and fuse it will be blows. In earlier case, when it is ungrounded system, this path we are not getting. Okay, fine. Now coming to the some discussion points. Okay, already I have discussed this point. The I will worry once. Suppose a single line to ground fault occurs in line R at point F. This will cause the current flow through ground path. Okay, as shown in the figure. Note that current flows from R phase to earth, then to neutral point N and back to R phase. So here the complete path means the circuit will be closed. Complete path means it will be the path the current flowing, it will be completed. Since the impedance of the current path is low, large current will be flows. As I mentioned, the earth fault means the large current will be flows. It's nothing but the line it will be touched to the ground. It is called earth fault. Okay, this will in between what you are introduced your fuse, right? This large current will be blows the fuse in R phase and isolate the faulty line R. This will protect the system from the harmful effects. Okay, example of damage to the equipments, electric shock. Okay, so this it will be prevents. And one more important feature of grounded neutral is that the potential difference between the live conductor and ground will not exceed the phase voltage of the system. That will remain nearly constant. This is the another one important feature. Please note it. The grounded neutral is that the potential difference between the live conductor and ground. I repeat here, the difference between the live conductor and the ground will not exceed the phase voltage of the system. That will remains nearly constant. Okay, let us have a discussion over some of the advantages of neutral grounding. Voltages of the healthy phases do not exceed line to ground voltages. Okay, just now I discussed. This is a very important point because it will be not exceeds. It almost remains constant. The high voltage due to arcing grounds are eliminated. So what it will be happens, the arcing line and ground, there will be a capacitance will be exists. Last class I have discussed. Okay, I will show you once again that it will be eliminated. Here I will go to back. Here it is not shown. Last class I have discussed about this the capacitance related issues, arcing ground. Here you can see here line and the resistance line and ground, there will be a capacitance, it will be exists. For an example, R line, which it will be between R and ground, there will be a capacitance called CR. Similarly, line Y, CY and CB, it's B. Okay, here it will be fault, it is there, hence it will be shown, not shown. If you want, I will show you here one more circuit I will show you. Here you can see the capacitance exists between all the lines RYB. It is shown here. I hope it is clear. Here what it will be happens, because the line when fault it will be occurs in the grounding system, there will be a arcing phenomena, it will be not observed because the line voltage it will be not goes to the high. Here you can see in ungrounded system I have explained here what it will be happens, the phenomena of the arcing ground it will be observed. Okay, how it will be occurs, just I will recap here. The capacity fault current IC flows into earth. Okay, what it will be happens, the capacitive fault current IC flows into earth. Okay, IC in excess of the sufficient maintain an arc. Here in this case no arc will be formed. Next, third one is the protective relay can be used to provide a protection against earth faults. As just now I shown, it is in series, we are included on fuse. We can include any protective device such as circuit breaker. Okay, the protective relays can be used. Some of the relays we can use to activate the circuit breakers. Okay, in case earth fault occurs on any line, the protective relay will be operated to isolate the faulty line. So what it will be happens, the relay will be used to operate the circuit breakers. If any fault in a line, that we can isolate. Isolate means we can separate it. The over voltage is due to lightning or discharge to earth. Okay, next one is it provides greater safety to the personnel and equipment, because the equipments are protected. Because what it will be happens during the fault condition, there will be a large current, it will be flows, the impedance it will be becomes low, hence due to this large current it will be flows, that current it will be damages to our equipment, so that it will be greater safety we can provide here. I repeat here, it provides greater safety to personnel and equipment. It provides improved service reliability. Okay, operating and maintenance expenditures are reduced. And here some of the interesting things are there. Just I will discuss here. In case of earth fault on one line, the two healthy phases will continue to supply load for a short period. Okay, interface with communications lines is reduced because of the absence of zero sequence current. Okay. These are the uh, discussion over the grounding systems without any elements. Okay, now what it will be happens in grounding system without any elements, the current which it will be flows very large. During the short circuit current, the impedance will be low, so hence what it will be happens, large current it will be flows. This current we need to limit. Okay, otherwise what it will be happens, the large current it will be sometimes damage to the our equipment. So how we are protecting, I mean, how we are limiting, how we are limiting the this large current or fault current we can say. Okay, fault current, how we are limiting, by introducing some of the elements. Okay, some of the elements, for an example, if I am connecting the resistance, then it is called resistance grounding. If I am using the reactance, okay, so depending upon the elements which are used, the name is given. I hope it is clear. Let us have a discussion over resistance grounding. Just a moment, I will go to the slide. Just a moment. Okay, here it will be given in the explanation about the uh, solid grounding with fault. Okay, just now I am searching this figure here I put. Okay, just you have to go through this once again. I will repeat here if you want. Here you can see the fault it will be occurred. This is a solid grounding. Okay, before going to discuss about the resistance grounding, let us little overview on the how uh, the how the solid grounding it will be behaves under fault. I'm going to discuss. Okay, we will take pen. Okay, see, this is our YB line, and the capacitance which it will be exist here, CRCY. Okay, it is between line to ground. Okay, what it will be happens here, if you are looking to this, the fault it will be occurred in this line. Which line it is? It is line B line. What happens here? The current it will be flows. The complete path we will get here. You can see. I hope it is clear, right? So this is a complete path. It will be happens. Why means because due to this grounding. If grounding is not done, what it will be happens? This closed path does not exist. I repeat here, the closed path we will not get if the neutral is not grounded. Here what it will be happens, the impedance it will be becomes low. If you are looking to the other two phases, the arcing phenomena, as I discussed, it will be eliminated here. I repeat here, the arcing phenomena it will be eliminated. If you are looking to this IR and IY, the capacitive currents, okay, which it will be cancels the this fault current. Okay, this is in inductive nature and this is in capacitive in nature, so that it will be cancels. Here I put the some points. If you want, I will discuss this. Okay, here you can see the capacitive currents flows through in the healthy phases R and Y. That is nothing but what? IR and IY. The capacitive current IR and IY. The resultant capacitive current IC is the phasor sum of IR and IY. Okay, I repeat here, what? The phasor sum of the capacitive current IR and IY is nothing but what? IC. In addition to this capacitive current, the power source to also supplies the fault current IF. Okay, and the one current we are getting, no, fault current. Okay, this fault current will go from fault point to the earth, then to neutral point, that I shown, no, closed path, the another one current. Okay, and back to the fault point through the fault phase. Okay, The path of IC capacitive and the IF is inductive. I repeat here, the IC is the capacitive current and fault current is inductive in nature. Okay, the two currents are in phase opposition. I repeat here, this is the point very important. The two currents are in phase opposition and complete cancel each other. Therefore, no arcing ground phenomena or over voltage conditions can occur. Okay, these are cancels each other and no arcing phenomena will be observed or over voltage condition can occur. There is no arcing phenomena will be observed here. Okay, fine. Now I will switch to the next this one, resistance grounding. Why the resistance grounding is required? Just now I told, because to limit the current, to limit the fault current, we can say. Okay, if no elements, there will be a large current it will be flows. If you are introducing the resistance, what it will be happens, the current can be limit. Where need to introduce resistance, you can see here, this is a circuit. I will go to circuit. You can see here, earlier case with solid grounding we are seeing, there is no element is introduced here. Here between neutral and ground there will be a resistance is introduced. Okay, this is the line RYB. The functioning will be same, whatever explanation I have done. Okay, in the previous one, only one major difference is what here, the current, which current, fault current, when the fault it will be occurs, any one of the line is comes to earth fault, what it will be happens, the impedance of this line will be becomes low, large current it will be flows. When large current it will be flows, the resistance will becomes here, so that it will be limits the current. Earlier it was there is no limit because resistance is not introduced. Here is the resistance is introduced, it limits the current. Okay, let us have a few more points discussion here. Okay, in order to limit the magnitude of earth fault current, okay, the resistance is introduced between neutral and ground. Okay, this is called resistance grounding. When the neutral point of three-phase system is connected to earth through a resistor, it is called resistance grounding. See, first when the question it will be asked means you have to define these points. Okay, so what is resistance grounding? Okay, the element resistance R is connected between neutral and ground, hence it is called resistor grounding. Like that you have to mention. Okay, now one very important point related to this resistance grounding is it limits the current. Apart from this, there will be another one issue is there. Okay, let us have a discussion over this. The value of R should neither be very low nor very high. Okay, please all of you note it. The value of resistance which we are connecting, it should not be very high and it should not be very low. Okay, what it will be happens if the value of the earthing resistance is very low, the fault current will be large, right? It is nothing but what earlier you are discussed about solid grounding. It's like a solid grounding, right? So if in other hand, if on the other hand earthing resistance is very high, what it will be happens, the system conditions become similar to the ungrounded neutral system. So we can't go for very high resistance. If you are going for a very high resistance, it becomes a like an ungrounded system. If you are going very low resistance, it's like a solid grounding, right? So compromising these two, in between we have to select a resistance. We need to choose the value of R is so chosen such that the earth fault current is limited to safe value, but still sufficient to permit to operation of the earth fault. Okay, it means what, as you are seeing in the earlier case, we are introducing the fuse circuit breakers in this path. So it should not be a very small large current, so that it will be not activated, or it is, if it is a very too resistance value is very small or too small, so what it will be happens, large current will be flows. So in between compromising, and we have to select in a resistance in a such a manner that our fuse or circuit breaker should be operate. Okay. In practice, what it is there, value R is selected that limits the or fault current 2 times the normal full load current. This is the one rule they will use here. The what R is selected that limits the earth fault current to 2 times the normal full load current of the earth generator or transformer. Okay, so this is the fault case circuit. Just you have to go through here. It is similar to this one, but only thing is the resistance is introduced, so that we are reducing the fault current. The figure is same, but what difference is there? Here resistance is introduced, and explanation you have to explain the same things only. Same things with including the resistance, it limits the current. This point is very important in this resistance grounding. Okay, with this I conclude this session. I will next video lecture session I will discuss resonant grounding. Okay, thank you.